but by Facebook itself. The last video I made was talking about Tesco and how Tesco is actually breaching the law of Ireland. Next thing you know, I come back, go to look on Facebook, and I'm locked out. And I go to log in, and it tells me, we have sent a message, forwarded a message to your Google Pixel 3. Bear in mind, that's the device I was on. It's a phone, by the way, Google Pixel 3, if you don't know the model. And so they said, we've sent a notification to your phone, which they hadn't. No notification was sent to me. I was just locked out. And then I set up a new Facebook account and went to look for my old Facebook account, and it's live. Communicated to a friend on Facebook, and she said, yeah, I can access your Facebook. Like your usual one, your first one. So it's only me that can't access my own account. And not only can I not access it, but there's no recourse for me to access it. They've removed all avenues of access or reaccessing. And that can only be done by Facebook. So they're saying, we've sent, they didn't say somebody tried to access your account and we locked it. Nothing like that. I have the 2 screenshots there. So we're talking about, some kind of, deep state interference. We're not talking about, just a normal run-of-the-mill, somebody trying to hack your account and you get a notification, is this you, sort of thing. Somebody tried to access your account from a new device, is this you? And you get the opportunity to say yes or no. They said, we sent a message to your Google Pixel 3. No, they didn't. And when I go to try to access it, there's no avenue to access it. There's no available route to access my account. I can't even go through the 2-step authentication or anything like that. So clearly there's some kind of interference, probably on account of my most recent communication. So if you don't know what my Facebook name is, it's Stephen Tallon. It's StephenTallon. That's my Facebook account. So go on there, you'll hear what I said about Tesco. And it's basically talking about how Tesco are breaching our statutory rights in, requiring people to download their club card app, take the physical club card, in order to access what other supermarkets are given as a standard price for something. So what Tesco are doing is they'll charge you twice, sometimes 3 times the price if you don't have their club card, which is basically only a willful association with Tesco. It has no other intrinsic value. It doesn't show any loyalty on the part of the customer such that they should be awarded some kind of reasonable or rational amount of money as a concession or coupon or something for their loyalty and return trade. It's just simply a associate with us or pay the penalty, pay the price sort of a mentality. It's a bully tactic, basically, so that you'll associate with Tesco. So this goes against our statutory rights because it goes against your right of association, which is your right to associate with somebody or not associate with somebody. Your right to association covers both. It covers both your desire to associate with somebody and your access to do so, and your desire not to associate with somebody and your access to do so. So when you make your product available to the general public, it doesn't have to be a, in inverted commas, public service, because that would be, a government funded by the people, by the taxpayers' money service, like social welfare or the post office or whatever, like a government run public service, like a civil service. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about if you have a product available to the general public, you have to abide by the statutory rights. of the Irish citizen. And that means that you cannot be discriminated against for your associations or for the lack thereof. And Tesco are basically discriminating against people, penalising them for not having the club card. And I'll give you a perfect example. I used to buy a punnet of oranges, little oranges, from Tesco. They'd be 49 cent. And then suddenly the Tesco club card was introduced. And what were 49 cent were still 49 cent, but only if you had the club card. So the club card was immediately compulsory just to get the price you'd always been getting. So something that wasn't required now suddenly became required to access the same price. And the penalty you'd pay if you didn't take the club card was 20 cent on the punnet of oranges. So it was 49 cent prior to the introduction of the club card, and it was 79 cent post the introduction of the club card if you didn't have the club card. So they were now penalising you for not having the club card, not giving you benefits for having it, but rather penalising you for not having it, which goes against our statutory rights. There should be no divisions. Companies are not allowed to discriminate to the tune of creating divisions between people groups or customers within their list of clients. Can you imagine I set up Stephen's Cupcakes tomorrow? And if you're associating with me, Stephen's Cupcakes, publicly or privately, with this Stephen's Cupcakes card, I will give you a better price than everybody else. You see the point? I would be discriminating against people who didn't have that card, creating a division. And that goes against our statutory rights. You are not allowed to discriminate against any group of people, even a group that you create. You see? So Tesco created a group of people to discriminate against the non-club card holders. And that goes against our statutory rights. And Tesco are in breach of the laws of Ireland. And face paying, if the laws are enforced, potentially millions to the Irish government, to the Irish taxpayer, for their breaches. They should be fined 100 million or north of it for what they've done in this country, in my opinion. Because what they've done is they've tried to teach people that you do what the big corporate tells you to do, or you'll be hurt in the pocket. How come I can walk into Aldi and I know that everybody standing beside me in Aldi is getting the exact same price as I'm getting on all of the goods in that shop? But when I go into Tesco, I don't. I know that that's not the case. That there are people with the club card in Tesco that will be offered a better price than me on all of the items that are Tesco club card prices. That's discrimination. Tesco are a discriminatory organisation. And they're actually creating groups, they're inventing groups to discriminate against the non-club card holding group that they monetarily discriminate against. It's not acceptable, goes against our rights as Irish people, and ought to be removed with immediate effect by the Irish government. Take it very seriously, guys. I made a video on this recently. They shut me out of my Facebook account. I have no available recourse to get back into my Facebook account. They're lying to me, telling me they sent me messages and notifications to my Google Pixel 3 phone, and they have not. That's the screen that came up when I tried to log into my account on Facebook. We've sent a notification to your Google Pixel 3. Oh, where did they send it? Where did they send this notification? It's nowhere to be seen. It's not on email. They sent me no notification to the registered email on my Facebook account, no notification to any email that I have, no notification to my phone. I was just shut out of my Facebook account, and they lied to me about sending me a notification to my phone when that was the phone I was on. So now Facebook's administration are lying to me, and I'm shut out of my account. Soon after I made that video about Tesco, clarifying the laws and statutes of Ireland and how they're breaching them, and how this is a grooming and conditioning exercise on the part of our governments and on the global conglomerate, this conspiratorial effort at the elite level of Freemasonry, where big corporate entities, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all those central bank entities are all working together conspiratorially to bring about a satanic agenda to amalgamate world religions and world governments to create this one system of control. And what they're doing now is they're introducing you to the idea that unless you do what we tell you to do, we will monetarily discriminate against you. We will monetarily penalise you. We will hit you in your pocket where it hurts the most, and we will certainly do so. Look, we're already doing it. Take your club card now, or pay potentially 3 times the price. And that's what Tesco are doing in Ireland. It goes against our statutory rights, our right of association, and the statutory conditions of engaging business in this country. Tesco are in breach of right now, and have been for over a year, and maybe over 2, even 3 years. They're at this Tesco club card ultimatum. And you know, I haven't shopped there. As soon as this Tesco thing came through and I realised what this really is, I left. I've never gone back to Tesco. One of the biggest Tesco's in Ireland is across the road from me. 5 minutes walk, less. It's just across there. And I don't go to it. I go to Aldi. Because when I go into Aldi, there's one price for everybody. When I go into Tesco, they've got different groups of people that they charge more. That's not acceptable in this country. That is a breach of our statutory rights, a breach of our constitutional right to association or to not associate, and not be discriminated against for our associations or lack thereof, is part of our constitutional rights and the statutory conditions of engaging business in this land. Tesco are in breach of them, both of them, the statutory laws and our constitutional right to association, or right of association. This is very serious stuff, guys. I made a video recently on my Facebook. They've locked me out of it. Stephen Tallon is my Facebook, StephenTallon. The one that they've locked me out of has, in the profile picture, an abstract picture painting of 2 butterflies. That's how you'll know and identify the Facebook I'm talking about. There's like over 4.4 thousand friends on it. And they've locked me out of it and lied to me and told me that they sent a notification to my Google Pixel 3 phone when they didn't. There's no notification on my phone. But when I went to log into my app, it just had me logged out. And when I went to log back in, sort of thing, a screen came up that said, "We've sent a notification to your Google Pixel 3. No, it didn't. And when I tried to recourse and access, they've denied me any access point. I simply cannot attempt to log back into that Facebook account. They've cut me off. Do you think that's coincidental? That I would expose a big company like Tesco in this manner, and I would suddenly not be able to access my Facebook account? But the Facebook is still live. You can still see the video. It's the most recent video, the first one on the list on my Facebook. STEPHEN, because I have a few Facebook accounts and stuff, old ones and stuff, ones that weren't used and things like that, ones I've forgotten the access code for. But the point I'm making is that the profile picture will have an abstract painting of 2 butterflies, and that's how you'll identify which Facebook I'm talking about. So go onto Facebook, Stephen Talon, and you'll see a list of profiles with Stephen Talon on them. The most recent one I've just set up has a picture of me looking like this on it, in this dress, because I just took it today. And so I can't actually get access to my original Facebook, and the new one I've made, I look like this on the portfolio picture. So if you want to friend me there, feel free. And I'll continue to make the videos. I'm not really pushed on the fact that, you know, I've lost access to that account, because, I mean, most of the videos I make on that Facebook, I get maybe 30 views, 16 views, 30 views. I don't get a lot of engagement on that Facebook account anyway, so it's no real loss to me. But it just goes to show that, you know, despite having 4,400 friends on a Facebook account, 30 people might be looking at your account, you know. And you'd wonder how much of that is actually because companies like Facebook are actually limiting people's access to you because you're talking out against the general narrative of the New World Order. That they would algorithmically limit who can see your account and who cannot. You know what I mean? You'd wonder how much of that's actually going on behind the scenes. So, how much is a Facebook account worth to somebody like me? Very little. Very little. But still, just to communicate to people that this kind of stuff is going on, when people speak out against the big corporate entity, they try to punish you for it because they're trying to train dogs. They're trying to train people to stay in line. If you don't stay in line, we'll cut you off from society. You don't cut somebody off from society by closing their Facebook. Many people they don't have Facebooks. They elect not to have Facebooks. They don't bother with them. The only real reason I have Facebook is to put my artwork up on it, to share art with people. I mean, and make videos. Probably most of the time I'm talking to myself on the videos anyway. But it gives me an opportunity to process stuff, you know. But still, just to make people aware who are, and just, for example, there are only 2 people watching this live stream right now. So, you know, I'm talking to 2 people. So, I mean, you're not any less important than anybody else who might watch. But the point I'm making is that there are very few who actually engage my material. And that's probably because the amount of people who actually are exposed to it has been algorithmically reduced, that there's interference. Because I remember making one YouTube video got over 400 views. And I was like, how did that happen? Like, most of my YouTube videos don't get a lot of views, and this one gets 400 all of a sudden. It's like somebody slipped up or something, you know? And I remember I had one video and they posted it on Facebook, and they were like trying to make a deal and ridicule me by posting the video. And what ended up happening was the video went viral, and it was starting to get loads of traction and loads of views. Like, I think it was like, it might have been nearing the 100,000 views. Certainly it was shooting up, and they cut it off. They took it down. So they're definitely controllers. They're definitely trying to, if they can't scathe somebody's, you know, if they can't damage somebody's reputation, which is what their intention is when they upload a video, they'll delete it, you know. So it just is what it is. We're living in a world where the cyberspace agenda is to limit, you know, people's access to the truth. And content makers who expose the truth just get cut off. It's that pathetic. That's why it's probably best for me to actually speak in the public place than it is to speak on Facebook. But I've set up a new Facebook now. It's also Stephen Talon. And if you want to join my new Facebook, it's this kind of image on the profile picture. Because I was wearing this, I just made the account maybe an hour ago or so. So feel free to join up there, and we'll go from there. Maybe I'll be more selective with who I'll invite to the Facebook going forward, because A lot of the people I did invite to the Facebook going forward, it was just sort of random, like friend suggestions and things like that. And a lot of the people who I would have been friends with before anyway, I wouldn't really associate with them now anyway. Because when I became Christian, they all abandoned me. So it is what it is, you know. My friend is Christ, but I'm always open to speak to people and talk to people, and my door is always open. So feel free to engage. Blessings in Jesus' name. Love you. Holy kiss.